line. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PTM Broadcasting TV, where we are live broadcasting the Fast and Fun League Green Mountain Grills Truck Series. They're kicking off their season tonight at Daytona International Raceway, and they have just completed qualifying. We'll hop over here and watch them line up on the grid as Trey Jackson and Tyler Dayton qualified on the front row, followed by Sheldon Pearson and Garth Snyder on the second row, Jay Culp and Stephen Madden on the third. Seventh and eighth is Craig Janzik and James Harris. As we go down the line, we have Robert Lawrence in the 34 car, Kevin Kirchner in the 91 and 10th. We have a full field tonight, over 20 cars, I believe. Or trucks, I should say, would be the more appropriate term. These trucks are at Daytona International Speedway. It is a little cloudy there this evening as they get ready to go green. You see them lining up on pit road right now. This is the Breast Cancer Awareness 175. Now tonight's race is a stage race. We will have three stages, 25 laps, and 20 laps with a caution in between each stage. So we will get to see quite a bit of action tonight. They're going to stay close, they're going to run fast, and they are going to run hard. As we are lining up for the green, we'll just go over some quick facts. Daytona International opened in 1959, 2.5 miles long, 31-degree turns, 18-degree front tri-oval, and the backstretch is 2 degrees, so not a lot of banking back there. Important to note, there is a yellow line rule in effect tonight, which means they cannot advance their position below the yellow line. They can only duck down there to avoid a wreck, or if they are pushed down there, but they do have a yellow line rule in effect. Should be getting them rolling off the grid any moment now. Here they come. We look through and you'll see throughout the night as we go through some of these paint jobs, you'll notice quite a bit of pink. That is for the breast cancer awareness. I think most of them were putting either a pink stripe on their car or at minimum, or in some of these cars, a full-on pink paint job. As I said, we are doing 70 laps tonight with 1 to green. Looks like the lights are out on the pace car. The number 3 car will lead them down to the start-finish line, Trey Jackson out of Florida. And once we get underway, we'll go over some great facts about these great drivers in this awesome league. One really cool fact, he couldn't make it tonight, but Grant Enfinger, the real-life Gander Outdoor Trucks racer, who is currently 4th in points, if I remember correctly, is in this league, and he does run with them whenever he possibly can. So some of these races this season, we'll actually get to see him on track, duking it out with these guys, and see if any of these guys have what it takes to beat him. Looks like we are coming down to the green. Pace car is off. Waiting for the green, waiting for the green, waiting for the green. Green flag is in the air, and they are off. The 3-car truck is going to lead them down into turn 1. As we watch them get up to speed, it will take at least a lap and a half when they come back to the back stretch on lap 2 before they get up to speed. Some of these guys during practice and then prior to the race were talking about hanging off the back for this first little section, so we'll see what happens. It is worth noting that these trucks are extremely fast, and they do punch a bigger hole in the air than the Cup cars. So some of these cars can hang off the back even by as much as a half a second. And as long as they keep within about a half to 7/10 of a second, they can actually suck up back up to the pack and get one heck of a run straight up the middle. Daytona is generally 2 wide, unlike Talladega, which you can easily run 3 wide. But I promise you, before this night is out, we are going to see 3 and maybe even 4 wide, as we have one car looks like he's blinking on the front stretch, but gets it sorted out, and one diving down low. We'll get some in-car views as well tonight, as well as some good looks from inside the pack. We'll go through some of the cameras we'll have available, and then we'll get back to looking at this pack. As the 3 car of the 36 car of Tyler Dayton is still leading. And you can see all those beautiful pink trucks out there for the breast cancer awareness. We'll keep touching on that as the night goes on, because that affects so many women these days, and so many of us have been touched by it. So it's great for them to be doing this. They are doing a couple other theme races this season. Looking forward to seeing some of that. We'll go through some of their sponsors here as well as the night goes on. Watch them come out there, staying pretty tidy so far. There we go. Here they go into turn 3 of the 3rd lap. And looks like they are going to start getting dicey back there. They're starting to move around. These trucks do move around a bit in the wind. They do get a bit unsettled. You can get up under somebody. And more importantly, you will see it on the back stretch for sure, but you will see it all over the track from time to time. They will be bump drafting. So they will be running up behind in front. The car behind will run up to the back bumper of the truck in front and push them down the straightaway as fast and as hard as they can, trying to get some sort of advantage. It's worth noting and watching as the night goes on. The outside line is faster on the back straightaway, and it's faster as we see looks like the 36 of Tyler Dalton trying to make a move, couldn't get it to stick. When they get down in the inside line is definitely faster through the corners, but man, those outside line, they get a run coming out of the corner and down the straightaway, and we'll see some moves. A lot of what you'll see this evening, the outside line will get pushed to the front, and if he can get back down low, he will, and then the next car will move up, and they will almost just go in a big circle from time to time if they don't have it planned out. Now, some of these guys were talking in practice, talking in Discord before the race, that they are going to be working together. They are broke off. Some of them are broke off into teams. Some of them have been planning for this, so this will be interesting to watch. Now, they do have a tire set limit. They only can get 4 sets of tires. The one they started on, 3 additional sets. In addition to that, they only have 1 fast repair, but at least for this race, they are running a 100% fuel load. So when they pit, it will be tires only. They will not need to pit for fuel this whole race. As we see them come back through the tri-oval, we're on the 6th lap. They completed 5 laps, green and clean, but they are getting mean. You can see them starting to look. We got one ducking. No, he looked up like he was going to try and make a move up the middle. Thought better of it and came back down. That 3 car seems to be the Trey Jackson, is just class in the field. He had a fast qualifying lap. Let's see if I don't have his qualifying time, but he was the fastest by almost a 1/10 of a second, which is huge at Daytona and Talladega as they come back down through turn 3 and 4. And it looks like we got 3 cars kind of hanging out off the back. It looks like it might be John Thacker, John Thacker, Robert Lawrence, and Brian Lorenzo, excuse me. I will be broadcasting this whole season. I will get all these names right. Got most of them figured out beforehand, but it looks like we've got a couple of them that had planned on falling off the back early, hanging out together, and then being there at the end when it counted. So we'll see how that plan works out for them. They're staying pretty clean right now as we come down around to finish the 7th lap. We've seen very little shuffling of the positions thus far. So while we're watching these guys keep it clean and keep it side by side, as I mentioned, Grant Enfinger, he drives the number 98 truck. He is 4th in the Truck Series points in real life, but he races with these guys, and I imagine some of these guys give him a run for his money. We also have a couple other racers in the group. We just got a couple of them, but we'll be highlighting some of these guys as the season goes on. Let's go find us the number 7 truck, who is currently in 8th place. The number 7 is driven by James Carroll. Let's see if we can find good old James right quick. And watch as they come by, and we'll see James go flying by there. James Carroll drives at the Carolina Speedway rear-wheel drive 4-cylinder class race cars. He was first in points in his class last season and second overall for 2019. Of course, he hasn't got to do much racing this year in real life, but he is still ready to go whenever they give him the green flag. He's very excited about this new season kicking off. Some of these guys have been together for a while, and some of these they recruited in September, August and September when their last season finished. So, interesting combination, but these guys have been practicing together, been doing some testing together, and they are all running a fixed setup, which will help a lot of these guys. As we see the 3-car and the 8-car, Trey Jackson and Sheldon Pearson, looks like they might be trying to break away from the field. Looks like they're getting the outside lines pulling back up to them, but if they can keep single file, get 1 or 2 more cars behind them, they could stage a breakaway fairly easily. The number 69 of Steve Pless, we'll go looking for him here in a moment. He is a 1/8 off-road buggy racer doing RC buggies, and I can tell you, as being an RC racer myself, that, we're getting a little dicey back there. Looked like a couple of them got into each other, bump drafting a little too hard, but the number 81, and Culpepper, he pulls to the front. Jay Culpepper is in the front right now. Made a move and got past the 3-car. Probably the only one that could at the moment. Looks like they're staying clean. They might have a 3-car breakaway now that 3 and that 8 are stuck behind Culpepper. They might actually... we got one down on the apron. The 14 car got down on the apron. Everybody holds it. Let's see, that 14 car. See if he's got any damage. Looked like he got back up. I'm sorry, that was the 44 car. My mistake. And the 3 car's down low. He's got trouble. Trouble. Will we have problems? He's dropping to the back quickly. Not sure what happened there, folks, but we're going to move back up to the front right quick because we have the 81, the 36, and the 72. Jay Culpepper, Jay Culp, Tyler Dayton, and Garth Snyder. 3-car breakaway, but the pack is starting to suck back up to him. Not sure what happened with the 3. It looked like he was having a little bit of trouble earlier and lost the first place position. But it looks like everybody's got it all sorted out. The 3 truck is back there. He's doing fine. Might have just dropped back to save some fuel. Although, as I said, they're running 100% fuel. So, who knows? Out front, you've got clean air, and you don't have to worry about engine overheating. There is a possibility in the draft. It's more so with the Cup car. We're starting to see him get dicey. We'll go to lap 25 before the first stage break, but they're getting dicey and racy right now. Oh, looks like we got one car that's got a bunch of damage to the back end. Looks like he got bump drafted a little too hard there. Let's see if we can zoom in and see. Looks like that was the 21, I do believe, of Craig Jasnick. Looked like he had some rear end damage. Yep, the 21 has been bumped on the back right quarter panel, probably just a hair too hard. That 24 seems to be holding back a little bit. Wonder if that has something to do with it. And the 3-car breakaway has been pulled back up, and they are going to encounter a lapped car in a moment. So we go down into turn 1. We've got that lapped car up there. Let's see if we can find out who that is. Oh, that lap car ducks down low to the inside, letting the leaders go by. Looks like he might encounter a little grass there. Holds it, gets back up to speed, trying to get back up with the main pack. It looks like it might be see if we can work our way back through the field and figure out who was having some problem. We know the 3-car had some problems. That smoke, ladies and gentlemen, isn't bumping. It isn't racing yet. But that is somebody having some connection issues, and it does cause them to smoke a little bit and will scare anybody that's in front of them, to be honest. That is just the experience you get when you see that blink in front of you. Now, speaking of the smoke and the blink and everything else, we will be looking for the big one. Hopefully we won't see it, but it is Daytona. And it is almost inevitable. When they get to racing hard and they get to racing for those points, they are going to get side by side. They're going to start beating and banging. And while these trucks are tough, they can get turned fairly easily. As they come through turns 1 and 2, we've got this pack that fell off the back earlier, led by the 68 of Gary Lynch, starting to pull back up. They've got 9 laps till the end of the first stage, and they're starting to get back up there. They're going to run up and probably find a hole and work their way up to the front to get the stage points. I believe they said it is 1 point per stage win. So that extra point will come into play later in the championship, and we will be tracking the points for you the whole season. So we move back up. We got somebody blinking down on the inside there. Everybody gets by clear. We'll get back up, and looks like the first 6, 7 cars are just nose to tail, front to back. The 3-car is back up there after his problems earlier. He's back up there in 7th spot, so he's starting to move back forward as well. The 81, Jake Hulp, he just is running away with it. Tyler Dayton and Kyle Spees both just staying nose to tail. Everybody's lined up and playing nice for now. As we come down, we'll have 7 laps to go in this stage, and we will see what they do. Will they play it nice to get to the end of the stage, or will they start bumping and banging? That is going to be the question tonight, folks. Are they going for stage points, or are they going all out? They do have 1 fast repair, so 1 big one they can survive and get back out, but a second one might be the end. And if they have to get towed, they might be stuck. So they're going to try and hold on to it for as long as they can before they start getting dicey. Looks like we're getting 3 wide back there. They lined back up, but we had some cars that were going 3 wide for a moment. Looks like there's somebody blinking up at the front. But they've got that connection issue sorted out. Oh, as one car comes up high to the high line, almost takes the nose off. And we've got the 999 on pit road. Got a lot of smoke coming from the leader up here. A lot of blinking it looks like, but they are not going to slow down. Tyler Dayton leads them around. Coming to 20. Oh, we've got one moving back and forth, side to side. He is getting, that is the 81 of Jake Hulp. He is going for it. He's trying to get back around that 3 car. Trying to get back up there to the lead after he got shuffled back. But right now, Tyler's going to keep leading him around the track. 5 laps to go in this stage. Now we'll start seeing him get dicey, I bet. Yeah, the 3 car is moving high, going to the outside, pulling that 24 Exalta truck. They've got up in front of the 81 now. They're going to start trying to push their way to the front. The 81's going to come up there and give them a little hand. A 3 truck bump. Looked like it got the 3 truck a little sideways while they were doing 3 truck bump drafting. As the 3 truck comes down, trying to catch some side draft, just trying to get any advantage to get back up there to the front. They are getting dicey as we come back down to the start-finish line. We've got 4 laps to go in this stage, ladies and gentlemen. And the 3 car is back up there side by side with the leader, Tyler Dayton. Trey Jackson is back up to the front. Got some help on the outside. They've got a line and they've got some momentum coming down this backstretch. Going into turn 3, will Trey duck down to the front? Yes, he does. He jumps down and cuts into the front of the inside line and takes the lead. Despite his they're getting dicey back there. Tyler and Kyle are both. Trey is blocking and Tyler and Kyle are trying to find a way around. Nothing doing yet. So we dive back off into turn 1. Will any of these guys have anything for that 3 truck? Of course, he's running Dale Earnhardt's number, and you know there was nobody better. Oh, the number 36 ducks below the yellow, but he's going to the inside of the 3 truck. There was nobody better on these plate tracks than Dale Earnhardt as the number 24 ducks down and takes the lead on the inside line. We have ourselves a race now. They are going to race for that bonus point. They are going to race for this stage win. Here they come back across the start-finish line. They're on lap 23. They're going to finish lap 25 before they throw the caution. The 24 leads them around with the 3 car behind. That's a familiar sight, seeing the 3 chasing the 24 and the 24 chasing the 3. This is definitely bringing back some memories for us. As the 36 is looking to the inside, Tyler starts looking to the inside of Trey. Can't get far enough up, and Trey comes back down and blocks. But they are getting dicey, and that 1 car is trying to push his way back. Kyle Spees, he is trying to put the 24, moves up, gets a draft off Kyle, and loses the inside line to Trey Jackson. Trey Jackson will be the leader at the start-finish line with 2 to go in this stage. As the 36 and 3, the 1 and the 24 are trying to get some advantage. They are bumping through the corners. They've got the 81 pulling up. He's going to help bump him down the back straightaway. The 36 is bumping the 3 down the back straightaway. And the 24 and the 1 have enough room to come down. They are going to... Oh! The 1 bumps the 24. He holds it together. As they come out of turn 4, 1 lap to go on the stage. The 1 car truck ducks to the outside. He's got the 81 there, but the 81 is falling back, and we've got a spin! Spin! Right on on time for the better turn the spotter off. My apologies. We got the spotter turned off there. And we had a crash. Looked like the 88 got into... As they come to the flag, it looks like Nathan Meyer in the 24 has the lead going at the end of the first stage, followed by Kyle Speed, Trey Jackson, Tyler Dayton, and Gary Snyder snuck up on him, the 72 truck. He was just hiding out back there in that Sig Sauer truck, but snuck up in there and finished in the top 5 in the first stage. And we'll watch to see what their pit strategy is. As I said, they've got a full fuel load, so they will be coming around. And if they stop, they will only need to stop for tires. They have enough tires for everybody to stop on every pit stop, or at the end of every stage. So if they want to, they can do it. It'll be interesting to see the tire strategy, though. Some of them in practice, some of them were actually trying 2 tires. One person tried left side tires and was trying left side only in practice. As they pick up the pace car, everybody files out. We've still got the same top 5 with Jay Culp in 6th. Stephen Madden in the 26 truck. We haven't talked about him yet tonight, but we will. Brian Rowell, Caleb Forsyth, and Richard Fornshell round out your top 10 at the moment. And we're watching them come down pit road. Looks like everybody's going to come down, at least get a few tires. Let's see what the pit strategy is going to be tonight. How many of these guys are going to take just 2 tires trying to get back to the lead? Trying to get up front, trying to make something happen. Watch some of these. Looks like the 69 missed his pit stall. Stephen Pless missed the pit stall on entry. The 76 is already coming off. We see a bunch of these guys at the back. I'm guessing it'll look like a few of them took 2 tires, and they're going to come out and pick up a lot of positions. Looks like the 81 of Jay Culp might have picked up a few positions as well. Looks like a lot of these cars might have taken just 2 tires. As we come back around, we'll sort the running order out and go through the first cars. We've got Richard Fornshell in the 90 truck managed to move up to the front. Come back around. Looks like we've got Richard Fornshell is going to be your leader now. Nathan Meyer in second place. We'll see if Richard comes down pit road now. He's looking to the inside. He is going to come down pit road. He might have stayed out just to lead a lap and get some bonus points. So we're going to sort it out with the 24 leading. Looks like the 3 of Trey Jackson will be in second place. Let the scoring update here real quick, and let's see what we've got. Looks like the 24 and the 3, as we mentioned. As we see some of these cars coming off pit road, that 12 car that we're looking at, I believe. The 12 car was having some problems earlier and went a lap down, but we'll see if he manages to get his lap back and get back in this mess. And this will become a mess. You saw them getting dicey at the end of that. They've got 1 lap to green. The lights are out on the pace car as they come down out of turn 2 onto the back stretch. The second stage will be 25 laps. The third stage will be 20 laps. and they will be going harder with each stage. Let's see if we can track down the 35 truck right quick. The 35 truck driven by Dan Starner. Dan is a dirt street stock pit crew man. He works on a pit crew for a dirt street stock team. So hopefully we'll see him up here. He definitely knows some strategy and knows how to work on the car. So let's see if he can wheel that car to the front now. Looks like the lights are still on the pace car. We'll come out of turn 4. Might have delayed the yellow for a minute. We were getting 1 to green, but looks like they are holding off for 1 lap. Let's see. Lights are now out on the pace car. We have 1 lap to green. They're going to sort it out, get them stacked back up, and squared away and get ready to go. As we've got Nathan Meyer and Trey Jackson will be restarting on the front row. Kyle Spees and Garth Snyder on the second row. Steve Madden and Jay Culp on the third. 7th and 8th is Michael Potter and Caleb Forsyth. Craig Janzik and Eli Childs round out the top 10. The 44 car of James Harris and the 73 of Brian Lorenzo, they were both hanging out back for most of that first section, and then they came that first stage, and then they came charging back up that last 5 laps, and here they are, just outside of the top 10. I think they are going to put on quite a show here in just a few moments, folks. I think we're about to get one heck of a show because I think some of these guys are about ready to come to the front. They've played nice and been patient as long as they're going to. As the pace car comes out of 4, we'll watch him duck down pit road and get ready, and when that green flag drops, they will hammer down. Those front trucks, both of those will be able to go full throttle right off the start. However, the cars behind them have to wait until they go, and it kind of does an accordion trick to the back, so they've all got to be paying attention not to run into the back of each other, and these trucks accelerate faster than those cup cars do. They don't have the same top end, but they definitely have more acceleration. So we'll see them get down, and they are off. Green flag is out. We'll watch them come down into turn 1 as we're already seeing some movement in the back, people changing lanes. And the front 4 got away for just a minute. We got 2 bridging the gap. And then the big pack is trying to chase them down. The inside line gets lined up, leaving the number 3 of Trey Jackson hung out to dry. Hopefully he'll pick somebody up here momentarily to give him a hand. It looked like we might have had a car off on the apron, but looks like everybody got sorted out. Might still have a truck off back here. Let's see. Nope. Everybody is back on track, and they are taking off. So we watch them come down the front stretch, back into 1 and 2. We see the 88 of Stephen Clegg there. Stephen was in a little bit of an incident earlier. We saw him get a little sideways. He is back in this fight, working his way back up, and he's got a couple of trucks hanging out right behind him, the 34 and the 36. The 36 was up at the front earlier, so he definitely knows how to get it done as the 9 drops to the inside and lets everybody by. Wonder if he's having some problems there. Ladies and gentlemen, iRacing is very detailed, and that includes parts failures, engine failures, flat tires, blown tires, you name it. If it can happen in a real race car, it can happen here. So we get back up to the front. Nathan Meyer is already back up to the front. Looks like Jay Culp on the outside. Jay is being pushed by the 3 truck, Trey Jackson. And as they come to the back straightaway, that outside line is going to get one heck of a run. Once again, Jay Culp And that 3-car, Trey Jackson, they definitely know how to make it. And we're seeing cars moving down to the low line. They're going to try and get a longer line down low. See if they can push their way. We'll see cars moving back and forth all night trying to get a good position, trying to get a run. And these trucks, if you get enough of a run and find enough holes, you can move up, move down, move forward, and go wherever you need to go. So we got one down on pit road at the moment. So we move back up through the field. Let's go watch these guys at the front duke it out. They're coming out of turn 2, down on the backstretch. 24 is leading into 1. Kyle Spees has a run to the outside. And he's got Jay Culp pushing him. He's got the lead. He drops down in the low line in that Nintendo truck, and he has the lead now. But Jay Culp is not going to let that stand, and he's got the 3 truck behind him once again. Along with the truck we haven't talked much about tonight, the 78 truck. Caleb Forsyth, he was towards the back earlier, taking it easy in the first stage, but now he is up towards the front, and he's making moves. He's going 3 wide. They get down on the apron, but it looks like they're going to... No, they didn't save it. Yes, they saved it. No, they didn't. No caution. They kept... Oh, caution is out. Caution is out. Heck of a run there, guys. Really thought they had saved that for a moment. Looks like a few of them might have got into it. So we go back through the field. Bunch of them had to check up for it, but they all got away, and for the most part, looks like everybody's running. See some damage up here on the 12 car. He got banged into in that Altel truck in that melee. Looked like he came off pit road earlier clean. Let's see who else got into this mess. Got to give these boys credit. That could have been a lot bigger wreck, but they managed to fight down on the inside. They got down on the apron. They sorted it out on the apron, let some guys get by, and didn't take out the lead pack. That was some impressive driving by these boys. As we come back up to the front, we're not seeing a lot of damage. Obviously, the 1, the 24, they're okay. They made it through clean as we're on lap 35. And who do we have? Let's see who we got here coming down. Looks like he is coming down pit road with some damage to that front end. That is going to be the number 55. Shane Bliss. Looks like Shane Bliss might have gotten caught up a little bit in that melee, and I'm sorry, that's the 35 truck. We'll have to find out his name here in a few minutes. Daniel Starner. Dan Starner. Dan is the pit crew guy for the dirt street stock, so he definitely, if anybody can get that truck running again, that's going to be Dan. Work our way back through the field. We see right now Kyle Spees, Nathan Meyer, Jay Culp, Trey Jackson, and Brian Rowell in the 54 truck. He's been hanging around that top 10 all night, but just been quiet, sitting there helping push a little bit and more or less playing it safe, and it is paying off. He's sitting in 5th place now. Then we got Steven Madden, who was hitting most of the first stage and started making a comeback. Tyler Dayton. Kevin Kirchar in the 8th place in the number 91 truck. Haven't really seen him yet, but he is moving his way up as well. Who else do we have moving up so far? Gary Snyder, we talked about him a little bit earlier. Sheldon Pearson rounds out the top 10. The number 17 car, Brandon Ball. He is sitting in 11th place right now. Let's go find Brandon. There's Brandon in that blue and white with orange truck. Nice Motorsports, I believe. Followed by the 68, Gary Lynch in that Snap-on truck. Most of these drivers will be running the same sponsor the whole season, so we'll have time to get to know everybody really well. Daytona is a different sort of race, that is for certain. And we reach the halfway point as the leaders come across the start-finish line. Let's see if the lights go out on our pace car. Looks like the lights are out. We are 1 to green as Dan pulls back out on the track. He'll come back around, catch back up to the back of the field. Hopefully he managed to stay on the lead lap. He's been battling in and out of the top 10 all night, but he can definitely make it work. As these guys stack back up, too wide. That 3 truck, like I said earlier, it's always in contention. Maybe it's just that number 3. But that 24 truck, he's not going to let it stand. This lead pack is getting straightened back up as they come down the back straightaway. Take a look. A lot of these are custom painted for this season. And like I said, they will be running some theme paint schemes this season. They will be running a Halloween race at, I believe it's Worldwide Tech, the Gateway track. I can never remember the full name of it. Next week, however, they will be running Richmond Night in the trucks. That will be exciting. 150 laps under the lights, short track racing, bumping and banging. While they're trying to be careful and take it easy here and save some truck for the end, that race will be a lot of bumping and banging, rubbing and racing. As they come down, they get the green flag. It looks like Kyle's going to get the jump on Nathan as we come down the front straightaway into turn 1. And again, those front 4 trucks, they get a little bit of a breakaway. The rest of the field is going to have to catch back up, but that does give the rest of the pack time to sort themselves out. And we see them moving around the bumps and banking. Coming down the backstretch, looks like the 24 is down to the inside. He's got the 1 car to help push him, that Nintendo car of Kyle Spees. The 3 car has helped to the outside this time when he gets hung out to dry. He's got Jay Culp out there to give him a little push. As they come back down to the start-finish line, the 24 and the 1 have a little bit of a run out to the front. The 3 car ducks back in behind Jay Culp. And we've got about a half dozen cars or so back here at the back. We've got some small groups breaking off, trying to sort themselves out and get lined up and get running back towards the front. But the class of the field tonight seems to be that 24 truck. He has been up there at the front all night long. Nathan Meyer had a little bit of help from Kyle Spees, had a little help from Jay Culp, even had a little help from Trey, but he has been the class of the field. We got 1 car hung out to the outside there. He's looking for a gap to get back down. Not finding anything at the moment. As we're getting 1 pushed up to the outside. And they managed to straighten themselves out before they get down into turn 1. That could have been the big one, folks. The 1 car in the 24, they've got a bit of a run. They've got a 5-6 car breakaway here. Got Jay Culp in the 81. We got Trey in the 3. Brian Rowell in the 54. Stephen Madden in the 26. And we got a little bit of a gap back to Gary Snyder and his little 6-car pack as well. As the leaders come back around the start-finish line, we'll see what kind of lead they've got on Gary Snyder. They've got almost a 2-second lead. They could close that up if they get lined up back there, but it's going to take them lining up because these front cars, they are sticking nose to tail. They are not letting anybody by. They are not going too wide. They are not going to battle it. With 30 laps to go, they are just going to run nose to tail until the end. Now we should see a caution here in the next little bit, unless they should go to caution here in the next 5 to 10 laps. Well, they said depending on how cautions fell would depend on how they broke up the stages, so that will change things a bit. Their plan was 25, 25, and 20. Their plan for next week is slightly different. Each week, obviously, the number of laps will be different, but their plan is to have the first two be even, and the last stage will be a little bit shorter sprint to the finish. But they are planning to, the admins will be adjusting as looks like Dan Starner, the 35, is down on the inside. Can't get that truck back up 100% to speed as the sun's starting to come out at Daytona, folks. The sun is coming out, and that track will get slick if it stays out from behind the clouds. We had cloud cover at the start of this race, but as that sunlight comes back out, as the leaders come down the start-finish line, as that sunlight comes out, that track will heat up, those tires will start slipping and sliding, and that will make the racing a bit different. Looks like one end of the track still under clouds. Turns 1 and 2 still got some clouds, but it looks like 3 and 4 might have some sunlight down there. When we come back around, we'll have to take another look. As we watch the front 6 trucks, they have increased their lead from back to Taylor to 2.5 seconds. I'm sorry, to Tyler Dayton. It's 2.5 seconds from the lead pack back to that second pack. And that second pack, though, it's growing. And the more they line up, the more they stay straight, the more they don't battle, the more trucks they get, the closer they can get, and they'll close back up on that lead pack. We see them come down through 1 and 2. 24 and the 1 seems content just to ride back there for now. The 3 is content to ride behind Jay for now. And the 54 and the 26 of Steve Madden, they're just going to sit back there and chill out, save their stuff. They've got it pretty easy. They got the lead pack, the end of the lead pack, and all they got to do is draft. We come out of 3 and 4. We'll come to 26 laps to go. So we see him getting a little racy back there. Oh, wait a minute. We might be getting a little racy up front. Looked like the 1 truck, as the 3 truck looks to the outside, the 1 truck was looking inside. 3 goes high, but he's got no help. He's got the 81 trying to block, it looked like. 3 goes high. Will the 54 go with him? No, not getting any help to the outside yet. But if that 81 moves high, that 3 is going to go with them. They were working well together earlier in the race. That 3's coming up to get a bump, but the 24 car's getting a bump from the 1 truck. As they come through 3 and 4, there's quite a bit of action up here at the front tonight, folks. As we get back here to this backpack, they come through 1 and 2 again. Still lined up, single file, 25 laps to go. I would imagine here in about 5 laps, we're going to see that caution. The admins will throw the caution. They'll go in. They'll get fresh tires. Some of them will get fuel. Some of them won't. As you burn off fuel, it affects the handling. So some of these guys will get some fuel and fill their trucks back up. Some of them will take 2 tires. Some of them might try and go the rest of the race without tires. There will be all sorts of strategy playing out tonight. They all want that first win of the season, and they want it bad. Work our way back to this pack, still being led by the 36 of Tyler Dayton. Looks like they are starting to get a little too wide trying to get a little racing in. They're tired of playing nice, and they're tired of waiting on the lead pack to get to them, so they're going to start a new line, go to the outside, and see if they can't chase it down. Looks like the 91 is going to lead that field, Kevin Kircher, on the outside with the 76 pushing him. The 76 of Caleb Forsyth pushing. They've got a 3-car line. The 8 cars falling in line behind them. As they come out of turn 3, or go into turn 3 and 4, the leaders come out of turn 3 and 4. Coming down the front stretch, they line back up for the time being. They're all being gentlemen so far, but I guarantee in that last stage, the gloves are coming off. Work our way back up to the lead pack. No changes. 24 still leading this. Got the 1 truck pushing them, the 81, the 3, the 54, and the 26. They're all playing nice. Looks like we'll have 3 laps, and then we'll get a caution. As we see the 7, we're starting to see some lap trucks come into play, folks. This is kind of unexpected with these short stages. The lap trucks, or some of them will be damaged. Some of them had problems earlier, but this will definitely start to come into play for this lead pack as these trucks start to hop onto the back. And we're looking at, the 81 is getting loose trying to get around the lap car, the 9 truck. That 9 truck, John Fix, he was holding his line, and looked like when the 81 tried to move high, he just got loose. That track must be starting to really heat up. They're going to start losing grips. Those tires have had some wear on them now. That 3 car is going to come down, put that lap car between him and the 54. That 9 car will start to get up to speed. He won't race with the leaders, but he's going to try and keep 1 lap down and maybe get a lucky dog, get right back on the lead lap and show these guys he can run with them. And he definitely can as he shoots up. The 1 and the 81 get together into turn 1. Caution is out. Looked like the 3 car, the 54, managed to get clear. Looks like the 81 has some damage from that incident. Let's go take a look. The 24 seems to be good. No real damage there. He's got some paint off from bumping and banging, but let's go back and see if anybody else got caught up in that. Does not look like it. Look like they all managed to get woed up. That 2.5 second gap came into play and helped some of these guys out. And there's that 1 truck. Let's hop in his truck and take a look. Does not look like he's definitely not got any real front end damage, so he might actually be okay. And with 20 to go, they will call this the stage and swap to the next stage. We will go into the final stage. So as we move back up to the leaders, we'll get back up here to the 24 of Nathan Meyer. The 9 car looks like he might be getting his lap back. And there's the leader, the number 24, Nathan Meyer. Let's see what he does on pit road. This will be interesting to watch, folks. Will they take 2 tires, no tires? Nobody. Some of them will inevitably try and stay out. They definitely have the fuel. They'll try and make a play for it on the tires they've had on. Try to make it to the end. Try to get some track position. Some of these guys that are further out outside the top 20, they have nothing to lose and everything to gain on this last pit stop. This will be the last pit stop for all of these guys unless they have another accident and they have some reason to stop. This will be the last pit stop for the leaders. Let's follow the 24 down pit road as he slides into his pit stall. Perfect stop on his pit stall. Right sides are up. 2 right side tires. Will he get left side tires will be the question. Yes, he will. All 4 tires. As we watch some of these other trucks coming down pit road, looks like everybody's going to get right side tire. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think that 54 got left side tires. I am pretty sure he got right sides only this time. That Zaxby's truck, the number 54. That is Brian Rowell. Hadn't talked about him a lot tonight. He's been up there battling as well. We've seen him in the top 10 quite a bit, but he looks like he is going to come out in 4th place. The 36 of Tyler Dayton. He wanted to see this caution, especially the stage caution, close that gap up. It looks like we got a couple of lap down cars that are right behind the pace car. Should be getting a lap back by virtue of being a wave around unless they come down pit road right now. We'll see if some of these guys pit road just open for them yet. We've got one truck going down. We'll see if any of these other guys know they're going to stay out, try and get their lap back, and try and get back in it. Like the number 7 truck there. Let's work our way back through the field. We still got some of these cars in pit road from earlier tonight. We'll get back up here to the front, and it looks like, as of when they cross the start-finish line with 1 lap to green, we have a new leader, haven't talked about, and it's a team effort up front. The number 16 of Robert Wynn, the 89 of Robert Wynn Jr. I would say father and son have a team effort going there. Sounds like what'll be going on in my house come the first of the year. Then we have Trey Jackson in the 3 truck, 81 of Jay Culp in the 4th. Is currently sitting in 4th. 36 Tyler Dayton back up in 5th with 26 Steve Madden, Brian Rowell, Brandon Ball, Craig Janzik, and Stephen Clegg round out the top 10. The lights are out on the pace car as they get sorted out. The father and son team will take the green flag when they come out of turn 4. And remember, we'll come into play with what little time we have left. Looks like we're going to have about 17 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line. It will be a father and son battle down the front straightaway into turn 1. Looks like Dad gets the jump. Oh, we've got a spin. The 81 gets down on the apron. Staying green, it looks like. He'll be able to get back in line if he's quick about it and get back up to speed. Nope, caution comes out. Looked like there might have been a little trouble in that restart. Like I said, some of these trucks, the trucks out-accelerate the Cup and even the Xfinity. They don't have the top speed, but they definitely have the gearing to get away quickly. As they pick up, the 16 car comes around to pick up the pace car. Looks like we will have 16 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line. And the father and son got separated, but now will be the interesting part. If they do a double file restart, which sometimes iRacing will put you in single file restart if the caution happens on the first couple of laps. If they go double file restart, it will be the father of Robert Wynn in front with Trey Jackson to the outside and Robert Wynn Jr. right behind his dad on the inside. They'll have the 1 and 3 position, but they'll have the advantage of working front nose to tail. This is definitely going to get interesting. You know that father and son were sitting there communicating throughout the race, talking it out, planning it out. They obviously had a strategy that works, got them up to the top 5 after hanging out back all night, and now they are going to race for the win. And I would imagine father and son, if they are not in the same house, they have a method of communication only they can hear, either Discord or TeamSpeak or something that's just the two of them. And they are going to work together. We're definitely going to get some more information about them for next week. Definitely going to talk about them some more. And me personally, I am very interested to know how they make that work, because my youngest daughter, is going to be racing with me before long. And as we go back, let's see, we've still got pretty much the same lineup. Fourth place is Stephen Madden, followed by Brandon Ball, Brian Rowell, Tyler Dayton, Craig Janzik, Stephen Clegg, and James Harris, rounding out the top 10. I haven't talked about James Harris much tonight in that 44 truck. He had some problems earlier too. But here he is, worked his way back up to the front. Let's find that 44 truck. There he is. And he's running a breast cancer awareness scheme like a lot of these guys, but he went full on tonight. That is a great job. Good on James. He had some problems earlier in the race, but he's managed to work his way back up in the top 10 as we see that 12 truck come around the outside to get his lead, or to get a lap back, get back on the lead lap. So we look at the number 72, Gary Snyder, followed by Brian Lorenzo. Those two guys were sitting in the back the entire first stage, and here they are just outside the top 10. So you know they're going to be working their way back up to the front. They've played it smart all night. Now they're going to get aggressive. So we come down. We'll have 14 to go. Should be 1 to go at the start-finish line. We'll watch as the father and son team come around. Daytona is always an interesting race. It is kind of interesting that it's the start of the season for NASCAR, and it's the start of the season for a lot of these leagues. And it's always a wild card. You can come out of Daytona in last place and still end up with a championship, just because it is always these super speedways. These plate tracks are always such a wild card. No matter what vehicle you're in, whether it be the Cup cars, the trucks, the ARCA cars, it doesn't matter. If it's a restrictor plate and you're running 2 inches off the bumper of the guy in front of you, or you're bump drafting, which if you're watching and you never raced in an ARCA car, don't bump draft at Daytona and Talladega. It's a terrible idea. You will cause a wreck. These trucks are about the only ones that will bump draft really well. The Cup cars, you can do it, but they get a little squirrely. But these trucks, you can beat them and bang them. When they first brought the truck division to NASCAR way back when, I won't go back that far, be revealing my age, but when they first brought that truck division in, they called it Tough Trucks, Tougher Drivers. And they literally advertised the beating that these trucks would take on track, because they are built heavier, sturdier, stronger, tougher. And these drivers tonight, some of the moves we're seeing, some of the planning, and some of the beating and banging, if you look at all those cars, when we look at them up close, they've all got some scratches, some door dings, some tire marks. They've all been through it tonight. As we come down to coming out of turn 3 and 4, the father and son team, dad in front, son in back. Pace car is going to drop off, and dad will control the restart. Robert Wynn will control the restart with his son right behind him. Trey Jackson on the outside, hoping for some help from Stephen Madden. And here they go, and the father and son team, they've blocked off the hole. They're not going to let Trey come down to that low line. And they've got, looks like the son dives to the inside. Dad might have disappeared there for a second. Come back up through here. And as they come out of turn 2, where will they work our way back up through the field, as everybody seems to be playing it nice. Despite having only 13 laps to go, these guys are playing it pretty calm, but I promise you when it gets down to 5 to go, we are going to see that tough truck business. They will start beating and banging. They come out of turn 4 with the father and son team nose to tail. Trey Jackson on the outside. And Trey's got Brandon Ball now pushing him. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Brandon Ball on the inside, helping push Robert Wynn and Robert Wynn Jr. as they move up to the front. We've got the 26 car of Stephen Madden. He's pushing the 3 truck, trying to get back up there to the front. But these front 3 cars on the inside line, they're starting to get a breakaway. Looks like they're going to break away. They leave a little bit of a gap. Will the 3 truck come down and fit in there? No, not yet. They're not going to take those dicey moves just yet. They're going to hold off a little bit longer, hoping for a run coming down this front straightaway. Through the 12-degree bank tri-oval. And they are starting to line up. The first half dozen or so are lined up, nose to tail. And then we have 2 wide all the way back, and we might start seeing some 3 wide. Yes, we're going to see. Nope, the Zaxby's truck looked inside, looked outside, couldn't find a hole. They are falling back in line for the time being. But here's a question for you. Where is that 24 truck? He's been up front all night, and here he comes. He is pushing his way back to the front and the outside line right behind that 44 truck we talked about earlier. James Harris. They are looking for a gap. They are looking to the middle. Are they going to try and make it 3 wide up the middle? Looks like they will. The 44 goes to the middle. Will he get in? Nope. Not quite. Had a bit of a run, tried to make the move, couldn't get enough momentum up the middle, and then they closed the door on him. As the father and son team still leading out front, the 17's dropping to the inside. 17 was falling back quick. Not sure what happened to Brandon Ball there, but he went backwards quite suddenly. So now that puts Trey back on the inside line, right behind Robert Wynn Jr. Now, will Dad leave the son to hang out to dry, or will the son bump draft the dad and maybe give him a little bump and run on the last lap? With 9 to go, caution comes out. This might be an admin caution. Let's go look through the field. Oh, no, we've got a truck blown up, the 69 blown up on the inside, Stephen Press. Hopefully he still has a fast repair, can make it back to the start-finish line. So we watched some of these guys catch back up to the field that fell off a little earlier. And there's the 1 truck. He has fallen way back after that accident in the last stage. And there is the 24 sitting back in 16th right now. And you know he did not want to see a caution. He wanted to stay green and work his way to the front. He's shown he can do it. As the father and son come around looking for the pace car. And there's the pace car coming out of turn 2 as Robert Wynn goes down into turn 1. Looks like we're at 8 to go. Based on this, we should go green with 5 to go if I've done my math correctly. And then it will get down and dirty. As we watch the leader, Robert Wynn, coming around we're on the pace car right now. Take a look back what he's seeing in his rear view mirror. Give him a wave, folks. And that Metallica truck Robert Wynn is driving is very cool. Looks like those 2 front trucks have no damage. They managed to get through the whole night clean. Both of them running the Ford F-150, followed by a pair of Chevys, the Toyota of Stephen Clegg in 5th. The Chevy of Garth Snyder and Stephen Madden in 6th and 7th, and in 8th, 9th, and 10th is 3 Fords of Michael Potter, Russ Kilgore, and James Harris. Michael Potter and Russ Kilgore, haven't really talked about them tonight, but here they are. They've worked their way from the back up to the top 10. We're seeing a lot of these guys that hung out in the first couple of stages that are now suddenly coming to the front, and a few of these guys that were up front got caught up in accidents, and they are headed backwards. Just goes to show you in these super speedway races, anything can change at a moment's notice. As we come down to the back stretch, we should get the one to go this time by. I promised you none of these first top 10, probably top 15 trucks, none of them went down pit road. None of them are getting tires. None of them are getting fuel. They're going to run what they got. Or run it till the tires fall off and the engine blows and everything else. But they're going to the end with what they've got. Their crew chiefs are all eating ice cream with Harry Hogg right now. As we watch them come out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Just looking through the top 20 here, we went back to the top 10. James Harris was sitting in 10th. Kyle Spees in the number 1. He's back to up to 11th now. Richard Fornshell in the number 90. He is in 12th. We've got John Thacker in 13th. Nathan Meyer in the 24 is in 14th. Sheldon Pearson in the 15th position as they get the 1 to green coming out of the tri-oval. So when they go green, they will have 5 laps to go, and this front pack will get dicey. The father and son now, the son is to the outside, the father's on the inside, the 3 car behind him, and the 36 behind Tyler Dayton. Back up there at the front, worked his way back up after being in that breakaway, or that second group during stage 2. He is back up in the front in 4th position. Stephen Clegg in 5th. On the inside there. Let's see. As they come down the back straightaway. Robert Wynn's paint job is actually, his sponsor is Metallica and No Fear. No Fear, of course, being a shirt brand and other branded stuff back in the 90s, for those of you who weren't around back then. Let's see what his son is running tonight. His son is being sponsored by Marvel Studios, but he's obviously got the breast cancer awareness. As they pick up the green flag with 5 to go when they cross the start-finish line, here they go. We've got a 3-car run. The 3-car, Trey Jackson, is going to try and push to the front. Robert Jr. there on the outside. He's getting a push from the Garth Snyder truck. They're going to try and line up, and let's see if Dad comes up to pick him up as he gets closer. And there's a wreck in the back. The 24, the 90, the 9 are all in it in the back. Look like the 24, the 90, and the 9, I believe. And they're going to come down and get the yellow at 4 to go, which means we should see a green-white checkered. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, they are doing 1 green-white checkered. I will have to double-check on that. And as Robert's coming around to try and find the pace car, Robert Wynn Jr. slipped back to 6th position there on the outside. But Trey Jackson is now in the catbird seat. He has been the class of the field most of the day. Him and that 24 that were just caught up in that accident have been the class of the field. But now that 24 looks like he might be out of the race. As we take a look here at the 22 from one of his earlier incidents, Stephen Clegg, he's got a little bit of body damage, but it looks like he's going to make it to the end. Might still have a little something for him. These trucks will still run fast even with a little bit of body damage. Take a look at Michael Potter's breast cancer awareness number 84. Robert Wynn Jr., as I said, he'll normally be running a Marvel Studios paint job, but he's running a breast cancer awareness paint scheme tonight as well. And he's still got a Pink Avengers on there. That is awesome. Good for him. Got quite a few of these breast cancer awareness cars out there. The number 26, Stephen Madden, is running one. I believe. Quite a few. I believe in pre-race they were talking about almost half the field had a breast cancer awareness paint scheme. So let's give them all a shout out for doing that tonight. Really appreciate them making this race about something other than themselves, even though they are out there racing for all the money in the world and a brand new truck. Just kidding, they're out there racing for glory. Although by the time this night is out, some of them are going to need a brand new truck. They're going to come down to 2 to go. They should get the 1 to green, so they will get a green-white checkered situation. We'll run through the list of cars on the lead lap here. As we've got Robert Wynn Sr. in first, Trey Jackson in second, Tyler Dayton in third, Stephen Clegg in fourth, Michael Potter in fifth, Robert Wynn Jr. is falling back to sixth in that Pink Avengers car. He's going to fight his way back up there. Stephen Madden in seventh, Garth Snyder in that Sig Sauer truck. He's going to work his way back up. Kyle Spees, the number 1 early leader, got caught in an accident at the end of stage 2. He's sitting in ninth, and he is still going to be a force to reckon with. And Russ Kilgore in 10th place in that number 28 truck. As I said earlier, we haven't talked much about him. First couple stages, he was hiding out at the back, and now here he comes. He's going to make a move to the front in that Miller Genuine draft truck. As we move back to the front, 1 lap to green. 2 laps to go. They have extended it to be a green-white checkered. As I said, I believe they're doing a single attempt at the green-white checkered. So let's hope they at least get around to pick up the white flag before we have another accident. Let's see if these guys can get it done. Let's see if Robert Wynn can hold off Trey Jackson, or if Robert Wynn Jr. can come back up there and give Dad a run for his money tonight. And of course, Tyler Dayton, Stephen Clegg, they've been in and out of the top 5, top 10 all night. And then Kyle Spees is back there in the 1 truck, 9th place. Let's see if he can make a move to the front. We'll focus on these 2 front cars for this green-white checkered. Get this view settled. We'll focus on them and try and keep an eye on the rest of the field, but the battle for the lead is going to be what we want to see here. Coming down out of 4 as the pace car gets ready to pull off. Lights are out. Pace car driver does not want to look in his rearview mirror right now. They are chomping at the bit. The leader can take off as soon as the pace car's off. It's on the leader to decide when he starts, which is right about now. Green flag is out as they come down to pick up the 2 to go. All they got to do is make it to the white flag and the race will be complete. They'll make green-white checker becomes official once the leader crosses the start-finish line to take the white flag. Looks like Robert Wynn is going to take the lead. Hold on to it. Keeps Trey on the outside with that 36 truck of Tyler Dayton. helping holding him off. It's Stephen Clegg. I'm sorry, Michael Potter in the 84 truck sitting in third place right now, pushing up, but we might see him lay back a little bit, try and get a run. That 3 truck's there, and here comes the 1 truck. The 1 truck just came from nowhere. He is flying up to the front. He is now all the way back up into 5th position as we see, oh, we've got a spin on the front stretch. They are crashing all over the place. Robert Wynn takes the white flag. It looks like they may get another attempt at the green-white checkered, but they have several cars out of this now. And it looks like Robert Wynn made it through. Tyler Dayton made it through. Kyle Spees made it through. But I do believe Robert Wynn Jr. got caught up in that. Let's go find out. Got a lot of these trucks back here banged up. Where's Robert Wynn Jr. looks? Let's take another closer look at his truck. Yeah, his front end is a little bit crumpled up, ladies and gentlemen. Not too bad, though. Looked like he almost got yeeted into the wall, but he made it out. So they will get another attempt at the green-white checkered, it looks like. As we see Robert Wynn leading Tyler Dayton, and where did the 3 truck go? Looks like the 3 truck may have been caught up in that as well, as he was starting to fall back on that outside line. Looked like as the sun started coming out, that outside line was not working. He got out there, tried to make the move, and just started going backwards and got caught. We have seen some great racing. We've seen a lot of patience tonight for them to make it this far into the race. As many green flag laps as we have had, for them to make it this far is truly impressive. But now we're seeing there is no patience left. People are wanting to get to the front. Look like the 39 car is getting his lap back. That is going to be... We'll have to go take a look here. We're showing the 3 car in 21st place currently, after getting caught up in that 39 of Jonathan Diamond. Looked like he was getting his lap back, getting back to the lead lap, or trying to. He's going to try and pick up a few spots, get some championship points. A lot of these guys, you might see them back on track, down on the apron. They're going to try and finish this race out just to get some championship points. We've got some guys that won some stages tonight. We've got some guys that have just been out there to lead a lap. They got their laps, and they're going to try and finish for points. And the lights go out on the pace car. We will get the green-white checkered next time by. They're going to sort it out, stack them up side by side. Robert Wynn, Tyler Dayton are the first 2. Kyle Spees in that 1 on that last restart was back in 8th place and is all the way back up to 3rd. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with coming to the green flag and coming around to try and get a win. We've got Russ Kilgore in the 28, Stephen Clegg in the 22, the 44, James Harris. Looks like Robert Wynn Jr. is showing in 7th right now. Will he be able to get up there? He'll be getting a start on the inside line, so he might still be in this thing. He might be able to make some moves. I think that one car is going to be the one to watch. Will that 28, will they have anything for him? Russ Kilgore just snuck up there quietly from the back and is up there in 4th place now. Well, let's see as they come down out of turn 4. We'll wait for the pace car to come off. We'll see what Robert Wynn does coming to the start-finish line this time. And here they green. Robert gets a jump on the 36 and the 1. Don't get out there too far. They will come flying back up by you, but he's letting the 1 car catch back up to him so he can't get a big run going through 1 and 2. Coming down to the backstretch. Looks like the 36 is looking to get some momentum on the outside. And we've got Stephen Clegg on the inside closing the door. 36 can't come down. 36 better hope for some help there on the outside as the 1 and the 16 get one heck of a run down the back straightaway. Going into 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. Will we make it to the white flag and make the race official? They are bumping back there. 28 comes down, almost gets into Stephen Clegg. And there comes the Marvel truck, Robert Wynn Jr. He is marching back up there. He'll be shown in 4th, I believe, as they come across the start-finish line. He's shown in 5th, but he will be moving up. We are on the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. It will get dicey. They are going to fight. Robert Wynn Jr. is looking to the inside. Could not get through the hole there. The 1 and the 16 are out front. Will anybody be able to catch back up to him? Robert Wynn Jr. is getting a bit of a run coming down the backstretch. He's going to go looking to the inside. He's got the 8 truck behind him. Will he get anything coming off 3 and 4? And does that 1 truck have anything for Robert Wynn Sr.? As they come down out of turn 456, several cars into it. Oh! The 1 car gets into Robert Wynn. And they crash coming across the start-finish line. Robert Wynn got sent to the inside, and it looks like Kyle Spees in the 1 car is going to win the race. That was a heck of a finish. Multiple wrecks down the front stretch. Some exciting stuff. Looks like everybody comes across the start-finish line. Let's take a look, see where some of these guys finished at. Got Kyle Spees and Stephen Clegg showing 1st and 2nd. Robert Wynn Jr. managed to pull up into 3rd. Sheldon Pearson in 4th. Kevin Kirchar, we talked about him earlier in the 2nd stage. He disappeared and came charging back to the front along with Tyler Dayton. Garth Snyder been hanging out quietly towards the front all night. He finishes 7th. Eli Childs in 8th. Barely talked about Eli tonight, and here he comes at the end. James Carroll finishes the race in 9th. Russ Kilgore in 10th. That was some amazing racing, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to, if you'll give me a moment, we're going to try and switch over and see if we can talk to 1 or 2 of the drivers. Give us just a minute. We'll put up the intro video, let y'all have a little music for a moment while we get switched over and see if we can get some of these drivers in here.
Finish line. Check the radio. Big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, wise. Come on, fast is the way to try. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
To say the least. I was looking for your winner to pull him into this, but I didn't see him in the list. That was one heck of a finish.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy there at the end, wasn't it? I was in the high line and it wasn't going. That low line just went and it kind of got crazy from there.
Yeah, it certainly did, and that 3 car looked like he got hung up in that outside line not going. Looked like after the sun came out, that outside line just wasn't going at all.
Yeah, it was heating up that pavement. It was making it a little slick out there, I believe, because I know I couldn't go out there at all, and I usually can go pretty good. That low line just had the grip.
I got to ask, the father and son team of Robert Wynn Sr. and Jr., are they in the same house, or how do they communicate? Because it looked like they were working together quite well there for a bit.
I'm not sure if they're in the same house or not. They're new this season, but I think he is a little younger, so I think they are in the same house.
Well, that'll be definitely something interesting to watch the rest of the season. Now, next week you guys are at Richmond Night, if I remember correctly. Yep.
Yes.
Expecting a wild ride next week too, I would say.
Oh yeah, nighttime short track racing. It's gonna be a blast.
Well, this was definitely a great race to call. I'm looking forward to calling the rest of the season for you guys. You got any? Next week we'll plan on trying to get some winners in here and some other drivers. Anything you'd like to say to those still watching?
Anybody that's watching, I appreciate y'all tuning in to watch the race. I hope you're entertained. We got 17 more of these to do. And check out our sponsor, Green Mountain Grills, if you can.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We're going to call it quits for the stream tonight, but thanks for having PTM Racing TV take care of your races for you this season. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Looks like a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.